Welcome back. The Colorado Supreme Court is taking up a liability case. This is triggered by a girl who fell off a ski lift at Crested Butte 2 years ago.
The issue of waiving liability has become a major issue for some time. So our 9 News legal analyst, Whitney Traylor, joins us now. And in this case, this young girl now uses a wheelchair, is paralyzed. So the question is, they waive that when you get on the lift, when you buy your lift ticket, you waive your rights to suing and saying you should help me with my medical bills and lifelong.
Right. That's essentially what the waiver is saying, is that if you sign this, or in some cases just buying the ticket, and it says, hey, by purchasing this ticket, you're agreeing to waive liability. So if you get injured, you're saying we're not going to be liable. And that even extends to, in many cases, their own negligence. So if they were to do something wrong, you're still, and in this case,
if something was wrong with the lift or something like that?
And that's the argument. And here, that was actually the case. According to the allegations, the father and others were yelling at the lift operator to stop, and apparently he didn't until she was 30 feet above. So in that case, you definitely have an argument that lift operator was negligent. But for the waiver to not be effective is gross negligence. So it has to be extraordinary for you to be able to.
Blew off inspections. They had things hanging from it, or whatever.
Exactly.
They had, okay.
Yeah, so actual recklessness.
So the fact that this case has risen to the Supreme Court means that all ski areas, other people who have these types of rides, amusement parks and the like, everyone has a stake in this and what the rights are for people who attend these places.
Right. So this is a big issue, and it's almost a common scenario when you have sort of business versus people in many cases, because what the ski resorts are saying is, hey, this will be cost prohibitive. If everybody is able to sue us, we won't be able to do it. Secondly, they say we've taken all these safety measures, and then they also argued this is a very rare instance. But on the other hand, folks are saying, well, the only way we can enjoy these outdoor activities is if we sign this release saying that, hey, you could be negligent and we still don't have any recourse.
Some of these ski areas, you consider, I don't know if this actually would apply in the case here, but you're talking about you're on federal land, you're in national forest property. I mean, does that apply to any of this? I mean, as far as they're taking, liability and ownership of what is really, federal or state land? Yeah,
that's a great question, but it really comes down to the operator. And so here, that is the ski resort. And we saw this a couple of years ago with the amusement park when the young girl fell and was killed. Same exact thing. And they argued the waiver, and the waivers are still in play. And we're going to see, I was listening to some of the argument, and some of the justices said, this just doesn't feel right that you could just say, hey, you signed the waiver, so you're out of luck.
And let's be honest, when you're skiing and you're skiing with children, you're not even looking at that. You're trying to get their gear, and you're paying for things, and it's unfortunate that most of us don't think much when we sign a waiver and buy a ticket.
Of course. I mean, who reads that? In some instances, you might have just clicked through because you bought it online.
Because you're just like, you got kids.
And these are common. These are called exculpatory clauses. And so you may see these, for example, when you park your car and it says not responsible for lost or stolen articles. Those, in some instances, they're not as effective, but in many instances, they are. And here, the ticket or the waiver, whatever, it says, you know that this is dangerous and you're assuming the risk. You're going to release us from all liability. And in some cases, you're going to indemnify us for any expenses you may cause us for breaching this waiver.
Well, it'll be a very impactful ruling, one way or the other. When might we get that ruling?
Well, I don't know when we'll get that ruling, probably within a couple of months, I would say. And yes, that is going to have far-reaching effects. And of course, the industry is saying we'll be out of business if everybody's able to sue us for everything. But you have a situation like this, she's paralyzed for life.
It's certainly something we'll continue to watch. We appreciate you taking a few minutes and teaching us more about it.
All right.